விடாதே தடைகளை பார்த்து நீ மோதி மலையை தாக்கு.
For all the latest reviews, interviews and everything entertainment in Tamil, Kannada, Malayalam and Telugu, subscribe to Film Companion South now.
Hello and welcome to Film Companion South. In this episode, we're going to be talking about H. Vinoth's Valimai starring Ajith Kumar as a cop named Arjun. Now, there are two films in Valimai. The first film is a Hollywood-style thriller where this cop, that is Ajith, tries to bring down a gang of biker criminals. The second film is a big tear-jerking Indian-style melodrama mega serial type thing where we see Ajith's family getting involved in the war between the hero and the villain played by Kartikeya Gummakonda. And the two films, that is this Hollywood-style thriller and this Indian-style tearjerker mega serial melodrama, they just don't come together. Now, it's not that action films cannot have sentiment. We had Ajith's own Yenne Arindal, where we had some beautiful moments where he was more of a family man than a cop. But the writing here in the family scenes is super generic and super dated, and there is not one fresh idea. The Amma sentiment and the crying baby sentiment, these are things that would have been cliched in the Mohenjo-daro era. After the hero intro fight, where his face is first shown as lit by lightning, we get a random song where they sing Nanga Vera Madri, and I wanted to tell them, the film runs some 3 hours and it would have been much better without these scenes about Ajith's family. Now I see what Vinoth is trying to do here. He's trying to show us that Ajith has domestic problems as well as the problems that he's facing with the villain. In other words, he's trying to give a personal touch to Ajith's investigation, but the whole thing is undermined when the writing is so generic. For example, what does the fact that Ajith's older brother is a drunkard add to the narrative? Well, yes, it gives us this one point that Ajith has this particular personal problem as well. But then why not give this brother a better character arc instead of just making him a caricature? The one scene that I liked, in fact, the only scene that I liked in these family episodes is when this drunkard's wife walks out on him. That's one nice thing about Valimai. I mean, none of the women have significantly written roles, but they all help Ajith in some way. They're not just decorative items. The computer experts who help Ajith's investigation, they are smart young women. The Huma Qureshi character gets a solo action scene. And without her, Ajith would not have been able to bring down the villain at the end. Maybe Nerkonta Parvai was not an accident. Maybe Ajith is trying to, in whatever small way, trying to empower the women in his films. Anyway, back to the problems in Valimai. Now, if you ask the industry people, they'll say, oh, you are city people. These family scenes are needed for the BNC centers. They really enjoy them. But I'll bet you that if you send a questionnaire to these very same so-called BNC center people, they will probably say, please spare us. Just leave out this mother, leave out this brother, leave out this everybody else. Because guess what? They have started watching all these Fast and Furious movies and Shang-Chi and all these other movies dubbed in Tamil. And that's where their mentality is. This old style of showing things, that's not going to work anymore. But the Hollywood movie in Valimai, that is the investigation part, that works to an extent. The screenplay here is crisp and clean, and the heroes here are the cinematographer Nirav Shah, the editor Vijay Velukuti, and whoever did the amazing location rookies, because the locations are just, like I said, amazing. And when you put an action scene in an amazing location, it kind of doubles the effect. Like the fact that how some bikes are sent into a quarry and then later they're fished out by, Ajith's investigative powers. These are really mind-blowing scenes. Ajith is in commanding form as the cop, though not so much in the dramatic portions. But one thing that Vinod understands is that you cannot have the hero always keep winning, otherwise then the power of the movie, that is the movie's ending where the hero actually wins, the drama there isn't as much. Therefore, we have things like Ajith being demoted in his profession. He is demoted to being an inspector. But Ajith is defeated by his younger brother in a way that I don't want to spoil for you. But it is this set of defeats that make his success at the end more satisfying, at least in theory. But for some reason that doesn't happen, and the film doesn't have much of an emotional connect. And I think one of the reasons is the exhausting 3-hour runtime. There simply isn't that much emotional material to kind of hook you in and take you through these, which is why the best scenes in the movie are the biker stunts choreographed by Dilip Subarayan. In a typical Tamil movie, you get only fist fights. That is, the hero will give a punch and the henchman will then go and land 5 feet away. That happens here too, especially one in slow-mo, which is the hero intro fight, which is like the same old cliche thing. but the stunts with the vans and the bike are superbly choreographed. They have really taken an effort to make this a Hollywood style production, and the effort shows up there on screen, and the scale of the production also shows up there on screen. I wish future filmmakers who want to make these supposedly slick movies take the Fast and Furious films as an example. There is no Amma sentiment in those movies. The hero doesn't have to look at the audience and give a message about society. They have a reasonable runtime and they're not flabby. And some of that happens here too. For example, we don't waste any time with a romantic track for Ajit. But the generic sentiments keep dragging the movie down. Now, Vinoth made the same kind of mistake in Dhiran Adhikara Mundru, where the Rakul Preet Singh and Karthi sentimental portions kept interfering with the investigation. But at least in that movie, the Rakul character was quickly dispatched, and then the rest of the movie was super intense. It was super intense. I wish something like that had been done here as well, because by the end, we are left with a movie that is neither intense nor thrilling. It lies somewhere in the middle, vaguely watchable. I would just say it's the kind of okayish movie where the characters are less interesting than the stuntmen who operate the bikes. So that's it about Valimai. If you like this video, do subscribe to Film Companion South, and I'll see you soon at the movies.